What's going on, everybody? We are at Tiny Fest. I am with an amazing couple here. They are catching Epic. I had to do it right off the top. It is one of the most insane vans that I probably will ever tour. I don't know if they're gonna be able to top anybody. It was professionally done. We're gonna get all the information from them, and here we go. Why don't we introduce ourselves so the audience knows who we are?
I'm Rob, this is Gina, that's Kona.
Gina, you're not mic'd up, so I apologize.
No problem.
But hopefully Rob will Rob's mic will pick you up. Talk to me about the process of this, where this all came from, what is going on here.
There's a lot going on.
How long it took, because I know that was a thing.
There's a lot going on here. Or when you decide that you're gonna get a van built, apparently it takes longer. Weird. Supply chain, labor shortages, all kinds of things. So we had all of that thrown into this, and so it took a little bit longer, but the end result is pretty amazing, so we're happy in the end. I started thinking about a van in like 2017, started researching, looking at things. We weren't quite ready yet. She was still going to an office every day, and bought a van in 2020. We were able to find it right before the shortages of the vans started, and then started looking for a builder. I contemplated building it myself. She decided she wanted it to work and function properly, whatever.
And look amazing.
And look amazing, all that. I just wanted to be able to throw some bikes in there and a bed and get down the road. Started looking for builders. We actually found out about Nomadic Customs on your channel. Thank you for that. Found him, started talking to him in October of 2020, and really didn't even send the van out because it was like 5 or 6 months of just, and he was jam-packed busy. Yep. So we didn't even send the van out until May of 21. You know, we sent him this big hulk of a white van, completely empty cargo van, and we had a few things done on the exterior with Freedom Van Gogh out in Florida, where we're from. Said, all right, we want pretty much everything that can go in a van.
I usually like doing the outside at the end, even though we've got a lot going on the outside, so we're gonna get to the outside after. Let's go inside, okay. And you guys are gonna talk to me about this. What is it sitting on? Is it on a one?
So this is the 170 extended 4x4.
This is the biggest of the big. You can't get any bigger than this.
Biggest they make. When we started talking about a van, I started looking at some of the smaller ones and trying to fit everything in there. It just wasn't going to work. My requirement was a bunch of bikes in the back. We ride bikes a lot. We own a bike shop. Gina's requirement was a bathroom shower. So those two things. And we needed a bed. Originally, we were deciding on a bed that was big enough for the three of us. And as it turns out, the dog can't get in the bed now because it's too high.
All right, so let's step on in, and we'll start at the front. Your whole front section is crazy.
So pretty much the only thing we did in the front was the van we were able to get didn't have the factory swivels, but we knew we wanted the factory swivels because of the height requirement and everything, but they also, without swivels from the factory, they come with higher bases. So we had to replace the base and add the factory swivels. So that's all factory, so it's DOT.
And one of the reasons why you went with Mark was pretty much his craftsmanship.
Yeah, the woodwork, the craftsmanship, the attention to detail. You know, when we looked at van builds and looking at the professional ones, we weren't seeing too many that were doing it exactly like that. And
are these partitions the ones that he makes?
Yeah, this all Kale's work, all the soft goods are Kale.
Awesome.
At Nomadic.
What's up with this bench? I know there's obviously, there's two of you plus a dog.
Exactly.
So
so generally the dog ends up on the bench.
Okay.
When we're inside. That's why it was important to have the swivel seats for the living space. Gina and the dog do fit on there, and they snuggle quite a bit. But at night when we're in bed, that's her bed.
Yeah, I know that we kind of just moved into this. Are we full-time in this now, or?
No, we still have a home base in South Florida. We'll be down there when it's cold everywhere else, because it's beautiful down there. And then as soon as this stops being beautiful down there, we'll probably spend 6 to 8 months on the road.
Is there anything in this bench?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in this
bench. It's just a storage?
Yeah, it is now.
You're still learning the downsizing art to it all.
Yeah, apparently me bringing 40 t-shirts 30 plus t-shirts was a bad idea.
All right, fair enough. One of the most impressive things about your entire build is the roof configuration.
Yeah.
You've got what above you, right above your head?
So right here we've got the pneumatic 3000 AC, max air fan. In the very back we've got an Arctic Tern skylight, and then the center section is taken up, which you'll probably see later, is Tiny Watts solar box. And the configuration was one of the biggest challenges that we gave Mark, because obviously we wanted the skylight over the bed to stare at the stars, fan over the galley and the shower. The box is very large and that takes up a lot of space, and you can't put any of those under it, so that left the AC up here. So it all kind of just fell into the only places it could go.
All right, I'm gonna switch sides with you and we're gonna talk about the rest of this layout and kind of everything else.
Sounds good.
This artisan work that he has done is remarkable. This is a great shot, by the way. This is gonna be my thumbnail, everybody. Who picked the color coding? Because it's really cute. Can't believe I just said cute.
So we flew out to Mark to do exactly that, kind of check on the build, go through finishes and everything of what we want to make some last minute decisions. So we sat down and we just looked at all the wood, all the different colors, and started going this, that, and that. And I knew that I wanted the paper stone, that we wanted the paper stone. So it was just deciding on a color and figuring out what colors there were. We knew we wanted walnut. You know, Mark's like, you like Shishuggi Bond stuff? And I'm like, of course. Nice. Yeah. I'm like, can you make it work with all of this? Because we're starting to throw a lot of stuff together. But he was able to blend it. When we started doing this, Wes in the shop is just, does some amazing work.
Wes is so good.
So good. So he's like, oh, we can put a little strip of the paper stone in there, and then I'll use this zebra wood. And it was like,
sure,
awesome.
Whatever you say.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is a true 4-season van. We already talked about the air conditioning that's now above my head. I see it over here, the heater.
Yep. So
what do you got?
It's the full VanLife Tech
he calls it
Roman
the Roman Holiday.
Yeah, the Roman Holiday, which includes the radiant heated floors, which are amazing.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite thing of the whole thing.
Well, Troy's going to love hearing that on camera.
Yeah. I was a little skeptical at first, and I will say, when originally we were like, we'll just do the heater and the water heater, and then Mark's like, I'm telling you, you're gonna want the heated floors. And then it's like, the rest of the van's so bougie.
it is bougie.
He's like, you're gonna want that. I'm like,
now I'm gonna ask you, have you had this in a winter area?
So the lowest we got was 28. Yeah, about 28 degrees.
And that heated floor, not even. You were sweating.
Well, actually, it didn't really get to that, but it was just super comfortable.
It was comfortable.
Yeah, because you can control it. You don't get to that point where, some of the other heaters that I had read, you can't. It's either you're too hot or it's
a dial.
Freezing, right.
Yeah, and this is I'm gonna push this.
Yeah.
This is like a touch screen.
Yeah.
And your floor is right there. It is.
You can set everything right where you want it, and
so it's worth the price, even though it is a massive price tag.
It's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap.
Okay, what was cheap in your van?
Next question.
Me?
It's cheap right here. I'm also like just at awe at everything, and you've got one of the most elaborate cooking devices.
No, it's not unlocked.
Let me unlock that. Yeah, the
Brava oven.
Brava's been amazing.
I'm so glad you went with the black one too.
Yeah.
They're so cool looking.
Yeah. Again, it started out, I think we had a silver one. It turned out we were able to swap it out and get the black one because it just fit with everything else. Same with like the fridge. They come in a stainless steel. We're like, it doesn't match the rest of it. Let's go with the black.
Yeah, that thing is pretty.
And we even debated about having Mark do a veneer on it.
I mean, I don't know how to cook, and that's why the Brava works well for me.
I don't know how it works.
Okay.
All I know is I love it because and I don't use it. She does. I love watching her cook because she's an amazing cook.
Pushing buttons, right?
Yeah.
Pushing buttons.
But it's cool. It's like a video game. I can look it up on the phone, and you can see the food cooking on the phone or on a screen here.
Oh, that's right. It does hook up to your phone. That's right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So like one of the first things we did was just a pizza in it, just to test it, and like it shows you the pizza, and the pizza starts bubbling.
Yeah. Oh, it's next level.
Yeah. And then she went with a full meal, broccoli in one space, and chicken in another, and potatoes in the other thing, and it cooks it all at once. It's all ready at the same time and cooked perfectly. It was amazing.
Guys, I swear this is not an infomercial for every company that you use.
It's not.
But we're just passionate about the things that we do use.
We'll just talk about the ones we like.
You have what this space is. This whole wall. People are gonna be like, well, you have this large partition here.
Yeah. So
whatever it is.
Fully enclosed wet bath. We come from RV life, so that's kind of the things we're used to. And we were like, let's do that. We knew we wanted a shower because our plan is to be biking a lot. So after a ride, you want to get a shower.
And because of the VanLife Tech system, you now have hot water.
Exactly. Plenty. And like Like you don't like you have to just crack it into the hot side because it's hot.
Oh, this does open up as a bifold?
It does.
You can show me, yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's a piece of wood.
Yep.
Driving around corners, there's a couple latches, little bird beak latches or whatever, that just weren't quite holding enough. So again, Wes came up with this awesome little mini Thor's hammer idea.
Oh yeah, they used that in the
other
Garrett's
van,
van,
but
yeah.
he did a big one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, can you do that, but just a smaller version? So
Can I see that?
Yeah.
Look at that thing, guys.
Not only that, but look, there's a magnet in it to hold it in there. See
Oh, wow,
the little
look at that.
inset magnet?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
This doesn't pop out.
right. So that stays in while driving.
Oh my goodness, I can feel it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of quality stuff that we were looking for.
That's wood, everybody. Okay, that's so that
folds like
that
this,
way.
so we can even create a little partition back there if we're changing or something like that.
wow.
And want a little privacy.
I love that you went with this, like, I don't know what blue this is.
It's denim,
Oh,
basically denim.
Okay.
And it's the paper stone.
That's
So it's the
perfect.
same as the countertop. We repeated it inside on these walls. We were talking about what to do on the backsplash, or the back wall. Mark found this wallpaper, dead on matched the color scheme. It was just so perfect. Our theme is, or a double diamonds logo sort of a deal. So it just fit in perfectly. So he put that on there and then epoxied the whole thing.
Oh my God. I can now see I can see the little glimmer of the epoxy.
Yep.
You guys also did something that is much different than most van lifers.
We did, and you know
Talk to me
we'll
about
get a lot of poo-poos, literally, from people on that. But again, it's what we were comfortable with. Two of the biggest decisions we had in doing this whole thing was which van to go with. You know, you go with
So
the
let's go with the
Mercedes.
biggest and best, sure.
Right, exactly. But it's like, you know, oh, you go with the Mercedes. Ah, they're expensive to fix when they need fixing. Or do you go with the ProMaster or the Transit? Ours, it came down to size, so the Sprinter was the only one with the size. The second biggest decision is toilet.
Okay.
You know, we wanted to go with dry flush. We were going to do the Laveo. Composting, okay. Taking out the pee jug every day and a half or so. sounded
Probably
kind
less
of,
than that. There's two of you.
Right, exactly.
It's only 2 gallons.
It's kind of cumbersome. We were like, we come from RV. We're used to a black tank, so black tanks don't bother us. We're not going to be out in the desert for 2 weeks anyway. Long story short, or long story long, we have a black tank toilet.
It's a way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no wrong way. That's what I kind of love about this lifestyle.
Yeah.
It was like, how do we do this?
Yeah.
Whatever you decide
Yeah.
is how you're going to do it.
It's a marine style black tank
Yep.
toilet, even the detail there.
So what did they use there?
So
That's Wes.
that's Wes again.
Okay.
So each one of these bevels are all the different types of wood. So he had to cut them down into little pieces and then fit them together in this kind of chevron diamond shape. Again, diamonds are kind of the theme
Yep.
to build this backsplash.
What?
So there's
That
walnut
is
and pica
insane.
and zebra and everything.
Yeah, why
in there.
not, right?
Sure.
Let's just do another detail that's going to take me 3 days worth of work.
Exactly.
And you're wondering why it took you so long to get your van.
You know, the typical sink, no big deal, right? But the paper stone's not light.
No.
You
So what did
know?
they do? Haul that out?
So we had them, you know, router it all out, which took out about, 40% of the weight of this thing.
Wow.
And it works as a dish drainer now.
You said you wanted the big bed.
Yeah, and we knew we wanted to sleep north-south. We
Yep.
weren't, with the extended, it doesn't make sense to have flares. Originally, it was going to be about the dog coming up as well. Almost a queen-size bed. It's
Yeah.
a queen-size space, and then we've got like a couple inches on each side.
A laundry chute thing.
You have a laundry chute?
Yeah. So we had a little bit of space. When you see the garage, you'll see there's a lot of stuff in there, but
Okay.
it left a little bit of space. So created a little laundry chute.
Yeah, why not?
Laundry goes in there, lift up, you get it out this way.
I mean, it's the little things that we don't think about.
Right.
Trash and laundry are usually the two things
Exactly.
we don't think about.
Yeah.
Before we go outside, I just wanted to ask you, do you know the model of the isotherm?
Yep, this is the Cruise 195.
It's a
So-
big fridge freezer.
It is a very large fridge freezer. We looked at the other ones. We were looking at the 210 and the 219, I think.
I actually just ordered the 200 from my Tiny,
Okay.
which
So
is the under counter. Yep.
That one didn't work in our layout. I think it was a 219 that we were looking at. They no longer ship that to the US,
Right.
so we couldn't get that anymore. So we looked at the 195. 185 was plenty. It's more than enough.
It's more than
I
enough.
can get, people always say, oh, I can get a thing of ice cream in there. I can get 15 things of ice cream in here. Which is
And
important.
Not only that, I mean, you could fit meat, you
Yeah.
could fit veggies. You
Oh,
could,
that's what she wants to put in there.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
want the ice cream.
I know this. Okay. But you're like me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much room in there. I don't know.
But it is twin compressors.
Okay.
So if one goes out, we still got something to keep stuff cold.
Oh, I didn't know.
And
I
you
didn't
can
know
adjust
that.
the temperature. It's not the true either fridge or freezer thing, but you can adjust it at least. But
Okay, cool.
hopefully it doesn't go out. So obviously we've got the controls here, right? No big deal. But then we said, hey, what we'd really like to have is a little toiletry cabinet. You're wondering what this blank thing is. So then,
Oh, look at that. Now you're just showing me all your toiletries.
yeah, you know,
Yeah,
no
it's
big
okay.
deal. But,
No big deal.
but toiletries aren't the important part. This little cabinet is very cool.
Hey, let's go outside because honestly, like I'm impressed with the inside, but the outside is where the whole catching epic is,
Yeah.
right? You said you got this as a white van first off.
Yeah, you can still see some remnants. We got it wrapped. We were getting quotes back in Florida. South Florida's pretty expensive. So Mark said, oh, I've got a great wrap guy. Send me what you're looking to do and I'll get it checked out. Guy had a much better price. Sent him a design and the guy did it perfectly.
Even with the topography and everything. Is the topography match something or?
It doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like, I want
Yeah,
topography.
we're from Florida. We don't have topography.
So now you have it.
Flat. So there are no elevation changes.
What did you do? I know obviously you've got a lot of weight in there.
Yeah.
What do we do suspension wise?
From the underneath side of things, or the low side of things, we did the Van Compass 6.5 system. Even beyond that, we added their full leaf replacement kit. We went with Agile Off-Road's full brake system, four-wheel brake system with the 6-piston calipers and all that. And obviously the Black Rhino wheels and BF Goodrich tires and all that good stuff.
So
Backwoods bumpers.
because I usually don't ask DIY. I ask DIYers what they spend,
Yeah.
but I don't ask what people spend with professional builders. Mm-hmm. Do you know? I'm going to ask you this though.
Okay.
Where did you spend more money, inside or outside?
Oh, inside.
Okay, really?
Definitely.
Okay, because you have a
Definitely.
lot of money on the outside.
And I know, and exterior, you'd be amazed at how expensive those things are. I mean, you wouldn't, but people would.
Oh,
be.
yeah, right.
Right.
I mean-
People would be amazed at how expensive those outside things are.
Have you had it weighed?
I have. Yeah.
Do you want to say what it is?
No,
Okay.
I don't. I don't.
Okay.
But the suspension
It can handle it.
handles it just fine.
Yeah. Before we go to the back, I want to talk to you about the Tiny Watt Solar box.
Sure.
Again, you guys are still learning to downsize in life.
Yep.
But you've got another storage unit up here as well as your solar panel.
It's got the 500 watts of walkable solar up there,
Yep.
so it's also a deck. And then the whole thing hinges up and is open, and it's we've got a bunch of watertight totes up there. Although the box seems pretty watertight already, I don't even think we need the totes. Are really just a way to organize things.
I mean, that gives you an extra, I don't even know what that is, 12, 14
It's
inches?
about, I think in there you can squeeze like 10.5 inches.
Okay.
Yeah. We put 8-inch boxes in there just to be sure, and then I had one that was a little taller, and it fit fine.
I think Wes originally designed it for like snowboards and surfboards
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool thing. And
Yeah.
when I saw that you guys had it, I was like, what else are they going to do to this thing? So you went with the VanLife tech. You went with, Tiny Watt Solar box. You went with the
Yep.
biggest suspension you could find.
Yep.
You went with one of the best custom builders out there.
But we couldn't do the power step on the other side because we put in the 50-gallon fuel tank. so
Wait, you put an extended fuel tank in
we
this?
put the extended fuel tank in there as well. So we can drive for about 800 miles.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff in the back, and we'll finish up in the back.
We do.
I believe they're Backwood Adventure
Yep.
bumpers.
Yep, backwood bumpers, backwood box. We went with the Alvans
Oh, nice. I don't know.
ladder and B2 rack and all that.
I mean, you did it all. I really don't know what else you can do here. Look at you, you got a Starlink. I didn't even see this.
Yep. Well, somebody still works on the road, so we got to make sure we have connectivity.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right.
How's it been? How's it working with that?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah, we were at a campsite in outside San Jose, and we were covered with trees, and we just had a little ring about the size of the van, and I was amazed the Starlink worked great.
Yeah, because
in
they say
that.
don't do that.
Right, and it worked great. A couple little drops here and there, but hardly noticeable. We're not going
Wow.
to do Zoom calls or anything, but
Right, enough to get work
yeah,
done.
yeah. But here it's perfect.
You got the awning. I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, this is, of course, it's automatic. Honestly, I'm super impressed with you guys. I obviously, you guys have been followers for me a while, so I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You have the bikes rack here.
We do, but the whole idea though was to have bikes inside, so safe and secure, out of the weather. We own a bike shop, so we have pretty decent bikes, so
Okay.
we didn't want them up there.
Okay. We own a bike shop,
yeah.
so we better have good bikes.
These racks are really just if we're somewhere where we're not traveling or whatever, we just throw them up there every time rather than throwing them back in here.
Got it. So is that why you've got the riders only bike shop? Is that yours?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this whole thing slides.
Of course it does. On the typical 500-pound drawer slides. And
Yeah.
We've tried to put almost 500 pounds in there.
Yeah.
You know, air on board for the bikes or the rig itself.
Wow. Oh, that's right. I did see that. So you have an onboard air compressor.
Yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't you? You have everything else. Like, I'm not even surprised when you start saying things now.
Yeah.
Okay. How many bikes do you have on here? Because I count 4.
Yeah, there's 4 on here now.
2 each. Yeah, that's
yeah,
normal,
so 2
right?
each, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to get 6, and Mark's like, "Come on."
You could.
This is true. This is true. Believe me, we thought about it.
Inside.
Right.
We didn't talk about was your power system itself. Now, obviously, it was done by Mark and his team.
So 2 315s.
So 630 total.
630 total.
You just put the light on for me. Thank
the
you.
little blue light. Did you turn the other one?
I can. I'm gonna go. Oh,
you go.
geez. I'm gonna stick this in.
So 630 of the lithium, and then it's basically Victron, everything else except for the inverter. The inverter, we went with a Kotech. We needed a low frequency 3,000 watt inverter for the Brava. I think Victron is coming out with one, or now you can tune them or something. At this time, that was the only one that we could get to work. So,
Okay.
and luckily it's still blue, so it matches. The biggest key was our alternator. We got a second alternator, the Nation's 280 amp alternator. We haven't had to plug in anything.
I think we're done now. Are we done? You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me.
Now you sound like Mark.
I can't, yeah. I cannot
already.
fit any more into this video of what has been done. I don't know if it's the most elaborate, but you guys are darn close to the most elaborate that I've toured. I can't thank you guys enough for being supportive of me, but this is a great van, and thank you for sharing it with us.
Well, you helped us get to this, so we
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry.
This is your fault.
This is all my. You're sending me a bill.
You kept showing me all these cool things.
Yeah, and
I
then-
kept going, yes, let's add that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks.
Later.
I could run through